everybody. It is Katie and Olivia here and Shannon behind the screen. So if you have any questions, Shannon's there watching to see if we can answer them.
Questions, comments.
Put us on the spot. We dare you.
But
yeah,
you
can
do.
make fun of
Eric,
us too.
Larry, if you're out there watching.
Yeah, they always make fun of us.
Yeah.
Jeez, yes. And we are talking today about home buyers. We've got 6 tips, informational pieces, whatever you want to call them. We actually wanted a better word than tips, but the dictionary was not helpful today.
Yeah, I can't think of some of them were funny, but so yeah,
It
tips
was more
is
like
what we're going
point
with. Yeah.
and sharp and weird things like that that had no relation to what we wanted to talk about. So we had to stick with tips. Anyways,
See, Shannon and I both heard different funny
Great.
things. Great. Moving on.
guys, stop it now. But what we really wanted to talk about is things that you should know if you want to be a homeowner, and to make the home buying process much more smooth, and to also tell you it's really not that hard if you've got a good realtor on your team and a good lender on your team, which is part of our tips. So I should just quit talking and talk about tips. So our first tip.
Stop saying tips.
Tips. Advice, words of wisdom.
Number one.
Get pre-qualified is the
Yes.
basic, like in our little scribbled outline of things that you should do as a home buyer. So we recommend, to make your life better, I won't use the word, talking to a local lender, somebody who wants to see you succeed, and who you can actually get along with and who you like. So actually, I think personality, as much as being a good bank, is equally important, because you're going to spend a lot of time together and you're going to share with them everything.
Yeah, and like she said, local is huge. We've done a lot of deals with non-local, and they're fine, but especially as a
Sometimes.
first-time home buyer, yeah.
Sometimes.
If you can sit down face-to-face, ask those questions, the lenders want to help you too. There's so many different programs, grants like we've talked about, but they want to see you succeed, like Olivia said as well. And so it's really nice just to sit with them and hear the options. And it doesn't always have to be scary. You know, we've talked about that. It doesn't have to be hard to get a loan or take a ton of time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's getting them that basic info. And even sometimes, like we've said, you may not qualify right away. Maybe you need to pay a little debt off, or maybe you need to get a credit card and get more credit or up your score a little bit.
Right.
But you can do it. And
Yeah.
buying a home's a big deal. I think it's worth putting that effort in.
It is. It's so
To do
worth
it.
it. And I love how some of our local lenders are so good about holding your hand through that process and helping you. Like, okay, here's how you can increase your
Yes.
scores. Here's approximately how long it's going to take to increase your scores. And then don't be afraid to look at options. So, for example, we have a little gal we were talking to just a couple days ago. And she'd been to the bank and she qualified. But what she qualified for was going to be tough. And by talking to us, we were able to tell her, wait a minute, there's another program for you that's a government loan that's subsidized a little. You are the perfect prospect for this really cool loan, and we can probably get you into something a little better. And so there's just so many cool things out there that if you get with the right people, they can guide you through those things. I mean, we've even put people in rentals for 6 months
Yes.
while they build their credit, and we
Yep.
can help you find a decent rental, and then we can help you find a house when you get out of that rental, and
It's
just
that
make it
communication,
smooth.
having that communication and not being scared, just starting and see where you get.
See where you are, and you can't know until you try.
Yep.
You know, so and also they've lowered the credit score again, so you don't have to get scared and think you have to have that perfect 700 credit score or
Yeah.
whatever credit score you have in your mind. It's not necessarily a true thing that you have to have that high of a score. So
There are options.
that's good. Yes. So after we do all of that, we have tip 2. Get a good realtor. And just like lender, personality is so important, because as realtors, you're going to be stuck with us for a while. You probably should like us. So if you meet with a realtor, and if you meet with me and you think, oh, I can't spend 3 or 4 months with Olivia. Oh
crazy.
gosh, she's nuts.
She says tip too much.
Don't stick with someone like that. Definitely look around, find somebody who fits with you. Ask friends and family members. sometimes people who are your friends and family members who are a realtor maybe still aren't the best realtor for you. Maybe they're perfectly good people, but they're not your best choice. Maybe you have a friend who mostly does commercial and you want to buy a house. Maybe that's not where you want to be. And so I think it's so important to talk to a few people and make sure it's a good fit. Make sure you feel like they're going to be, I think, honest. Honest to me is the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
Even when it's ugly. Like, sorry, you're going to need 4 years to buy a house because your credit sucks. I'd rather know up
Or
front.
your expectations are unrealistic, or things like that. Mainly the main point to this tip is just finding a professional and having somebody to truly represent you and educate you, because it's a big deal.
And if you're with somebody who's not a fit, don't be afraid to change.
Yeah.
And I mean, talk to them. Say, hey, I don't think we're a match.
Yep.
Go find somebody who is.
Yep.
Because it is a big deal and it's important. So I think that's good. So number 3 of 6 is to shop your situation. I thought we were so cute that we come up with shop your situation. Yeah. So not just price range. Obviously, when you're looking at houses, there's no point in looking at houses that are way out of your affordability. But like Haiti said, when we were talking about that, it's also knowing your financing type. Certain financing types won't take certain houses. And there's really no sense in looking at houses that you can't possibly purchase. If you're doing a rural development loan, a foreclosure house is probably going to be a disaster, quite frankly.
Yeah.
And you should have a realtor who's being honest and telling you that. Like, don't waste your time, don't stress yourself out, don't do these things that are going to make you miserable.
And even in those, we'll tell people, and we don't want to be mean, we'd love to sell you that property, but if it's not going to work, like Olivia said, it's not worth anybody's time. We don't want to give you false hope that, this foreclosure at $50,000 seems awesome, but yet you can't turn water on, it has broken pipes, the roof needs replaced,
which means you're
the
going to
heat
spend
doesn't
money
work
on inspections and appraisal, and then your lender's going to say no.
You can't do it.
And you're going to be back to square one. So you might as well know up front.
Yep.
Than to torture yourself.
And even with situation, and this kind of goes back to the other two, but maybe you're a first-time home buyer, you want rural, you want to shop, but you can only qualify to 150, and those manufactured homes may not work for your loan type.
Yeah.
Maybe now you invest in that, and then in a few years you have equity and you upgrade. I mean, there's just a lot of options out there.
So many times you have to start somewhere and then move up. When we moved here, we wanted to be in the country.
Yeah.
And we couldn't afford it. So we started.
But not getting discouraged, just like we said, even if you don't qualify right away, same thing. Even if your dream home isn't something you can get right now, you have options.
But the equity that, like in our situation, the equity that we built in the house we bought in town helped us to get the house we wanted in the country.
Yeah.
And
we
probably
bought
even a crappy house and worked hard. And you don't have to necessarily do that, but it definitely opens your opportunities, and it's better than paying your landlord's mortgage for sure.
Yeah.
So, for sure. Then number 4 is the good, bad, and the ugly of inspections. And inspections sometimes bring up things you really wish you didn't have to know. You're in love with the house, and then you find out that there's a big problem. And sometimes the sellers will fix them, and of course we're going to be there on your team telling the seller, you need to fix this for the buyer, this is a legit concern. But sometimes things don't always go as you want, but you're protected, and that's the positive of it all is you get to have those inspections so that you don't close on the house, move in, and then find mold in the walls or a leaking roof or something like that.
And that's the big thing, just taking the time, like you said, not being blinded by, we just love this house, it's perfect, it's what we want. Just making sure you have somebody on your side that's guiding you through, telling you, I know it's not fun to spend $400, but $400 now to know that the house is good is going to save you thousands later down the road with problems.
Well, I think about, I had some buyers the other day. They didn't even know we needed to have termite inspections here.
Yeah.
And then we have a termite inspection, and then treating the termites is like $3,000.
And that's
which
$75 termite inspection.
Yeah. And the seller will probably pay for that. And so it's so important to get that information so that you go into things knowing. And again, somebody who's helping you to know things you might not have known otherwise, for sure. So inspections, important, and they protect you. Then number 5, my cheat sheet here, the appraisal process and then the loan process as a whole sounds so scary. It's long, there's lots of papers, there's lots of details, there's so many pieces to it. But the reality is, with a good lender and a good real estate agent, you're always going to have somebody guiding you and directing you and kind of taking you down the right path so you don't, I don't know, get lost in the forest is what I'm thinking of. Maybe
Yeah. Well, and we even have buyer's guides that kind of give you a timeline of exactly what to expect. And I think if you know what to expect and your realtor or whoever's representing you is telling you, it just makes it so much smoother because it is such a foreign process for a lot of people.
And sometimes there's bumps we can't predict and we're not going to know about, but as long as you're following the process and you're in line, there's ways to get around all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But you know, your appraisal can come in and it can come in low and it can come in high and it can have repairs, and those are all things we help you negotiate through. And usually anything that comes up with an appraisal and through those processes is stuff that can be worked through.
Yeah.
As long as everyone's communicating and trying to make the transaction go. So the process does not have to be scary
At all.
No. We take the scary out of it.
We do, truly. We say that.
That's
There's so
why
much.
we have gray hair.
It is.
We
Katie
take the
has
scary
so many gray hairs.
Oh, stop it.
Oh my gosh.
What, 1? Maybe 2 on a good day.
We won't even talk
Katie
about
has
this.
2 gray hairs.
You guys, like
And
going.
we diverge.
Shannon's back here giggling because she's seen
She
the
knows.
multiples. The hair girl knows what's up. But truly, we do. How many clients, buyers, sellers do we say, oh yeah, we solved this, we took care of it? They don't even know. We take the stress, we deal
We
with
try
it.
not to have to tell. If
That's
it's
why they
something
have
we
us,
can't
though.
handle.
That's, yeah.
Exactly. So there's a picture out there on Facebook of like a grandma, and it says something like, I've been selling real estate for 20 years. Don't I look 40 or something? And really, she looks 80.
Yeah,
I don't know. Sometimes I think that's me.
Yeah. Oh, whatever.
So then we also have the final thing, the most exciting part, closing. So obviously that's the part everybody looks forward to. You get those keys in your hand. And we talked a few weeks ago about changing those keys.
Yes, we sure did.
Because it's not all sunshine and roses, and you don't know who your past owner shared their keys with.
Yeah.
Their friends, their kids, whatever. We told stories. You have to go back to listen to that.
Yes.
But anyways, at closing, you want to make sure you get those utilities in your name, and you get, of course, the exciting part of moving in. And if you're working with your hometown realtors, you can borrow the moving trailer too.
Yep.
Just a little hometown realtor plug
there.
there. Yes, but that's always the fun part. You go to closing and you do need to bring a copy of your driver's license. You need to be prepared to sign and sign and sign.
And they do not take
Bring
stamps.
coffee.
We all joke, but a lot of them will not even accept your signature.
Definitely bring
stamp,
coffee,
so.
and bring coffee with a lid.
Yes, because Katie is fired from going to county title with open coffee because I've spilled it a few times.
I'm fired for you. Like that
that's
somehow
hilarious.
became my problem
Oh, that's
too.
hilarious.
I have to have a lid
Twice
as well.
I spilled coffee over there, twice.
But yeah, I think I
So
got
bad.
credit for one of them. That's why.
Oh, that's funny. Sorry
Yes.
about that.
So bring a lid with your coffee and come to closing. And
But
get
even
your
closing, I
keys
think a lot of
and-
people think it's like an all day or multiple hours. I mean, it's
Maybe an
under an
hour-ish.
hour, worst case.
I always say plan an hour.
Yep, and you're usually out
And
a
then,
lot sooner.
before the hour's over, you should be at your house, sitting in the living room, going, where am I going to put my furniture?
Right.
Can't wait.
And the fun of moving.
Or what color am I going to paint? Or what color am I not going to let my children paint?
Yeah.
Yeah, because children always have amazing paint ideas. So, of course, it's your house, so you can do
can
their
do what you
recipe
want.
if you
Yay.
want or
No
whatever.
landlords.
Anyway, so those are some 6 tips. That sounded so simple.
I know.
It really did. It
That's
really
right.
is. It's not that hard,
That's our job,
guys. And we are going to have Shannon running to grab the phone because it's ringing.
Tips.
Those
If you
are-
guys have questions, concerns, comments, whatever, you always know where
Where
to
to
go
find
to
us.
ask
We're
us.
always here.
So
Thank you
Olivia's
guys
gonna
so
shut us
much.
off.
I'm going to shut us
Shannon
off.
had to grab the phone. So thanks, guys. See you.